It's like a jazz band, okay? It really is. It's like a jazz band. It's like a symphony. All these other ones, like I mean, Roni, does it even have any real music? The music, this background music that they use, and when they're walking in and ha 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 ha, this like religious, this eerie religious music is phenomenal. I love it. Does anyone realize, like Monica and I timed it was basically the first 20 minutes of the reunion, other than Jen Shah, which we'll get to the Jen Shah of it all. I think it's so interesting that the whole basic first half of the reunion was all about Monica not getting fired, people. And just because you sit next to Andy doesn't mean, you're not getting fired. I mean, let's not forget that Miss McSweeney sat next to Andy her first season. What a fall from grace that one had. Maybe we'll have a fall from grace for Monica next season. I don't see it. I love Monica. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel an authenticity, even though she was. Look, what do we do here at Patreon every week? We expose these people. We talk about them, say positive things when there's positive things to say. But this Monica, I mean, she's one of us. And I still feel at the reunion, I feel some authenticity in her. And I love that she just doesn't care. She is Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore season one to me is Monica season one. I feel she doesn't care. I feel like she's not scared and she just speaks out. I really, truly love it. I'm just looking at my phone because I want to read something to you. We're going to get into something soon about Monica, but we're not there yet. But I love her. She's great. Okay, so I love how the girls arrive. You see them getting out of the limos or the SUVs. Everyone's being nice. I love how, they're praying in the elevator before Lisa and Heather and Whitney. Hey, girls, this is reality Von Teese, darling. You better pray because reality Von Teese is in the house and she has upped the game of Housewives. So y'all better pray because you ain't never been to a Salt Lake reunion like this before. I mean, what are we doing talking about Jen Shah? Now, let's not forget, Miss Shah has spoken out through her reps. She's in prison, guys, so she can't speak to us directly. I mean, is she in an orange jumpsuit? Is she in a brown jumpsuit? I don't know. We'll find out one day. But Miss Shah is behind bars, so she's not speaking out. She's speaking out through her reps. And let's not forget that, if Andy says, Heather Gay, did you get a black eye from Jen Shah? And Heather Gay says, yes, I got a black eye from Jen Shah. Jen Shah says she's suing NBC, Sirens, Bravo, Andy Cohen, and Heather Gay. That's a lot of people to sue, darling. Our good friend Sarah Fraser says the bitch ain't suing anyone because she's broke as a joke behind bars. I don't know. People sue. Who knows? Just taking a sip of my coffee, you guys. Okay, but we're not stopping because Daddy is not editing. We don't edit. I think that's why you guys love us here. We just let it rip. And if something goes wrong, you guys like hearing that. It's a podcast. This isn't some edited down Housewives bullshit where you have an Anakin Kosais, my friend, who goes back to Miami Housewives and films like a 5-hour scene and they edit it all out. You guys want Anna back on the podcast? I mean, we appeared on Real Housewives of Miami. They're behind the velvet rope 6 times. I mean, there's so much that wasn't shown, which Anna has alluded to. Should we go right to the source and get Anna and Beba back on the podcast and talk some Miami? Okay, just for you Patreons, I will do that. Hashtag stay tuned. A very soon. So why are we even talking about Jen Shah at the beginning of this reunion? Can you please tell me that? And I love how Monica makes her grand entrance. All the other girls come in. Monica comes down. Man, not getting fired. Not. I also love how, to that point, not getting fired. Here's when Andy Cohen, I thought this was very telling. At the Jersey reunion, when, like I said, Andy loves Teresa and, she was backstage, she stormed off and said, I'll never see you again to Melissa, even though we all know that's not true now. And Andy went and got her and he was just like, just go back out there. It'll all be okay. That to me was so telling. It was like, no, Andy's in bed with Teresa and she's never getting fired. I thought it was very telling when they said, you got to read between the lines, guys. When they said, he brought up like, how are you guys doing after Jen Shah? And Andy said, I think we all sat here last season. It was just 4 of us. It was Whitney and Heather and Meredith and Lisa. And Andy's like, we all sat here and we all really didn't know how this was going to continue. And Heather was like, oh God, yeah. So, you're basically telling us you didn't know how the show was going to continue. Now, I was never a Jen Shah fan, so I thought the show would continue fine. I mean, season 3 was horrible, so I just assumed season 4 would be horrible. The whole thing wouldn't continue, but I mean, you're basically admitting it, Mr. Boss Man, Daddy Cohn. You didn't know how the show was going to continue. Well, Heather said she didn't know how the show was going to continue. Lisa Barlow's nodding. Meredith Marks is checking her purse for all her receipts, but she stood up and said, yeah, yeah. They all agreed they didn't know how the show was going to continue. Well, guess what? The show has continued because of a reality avantis, Miss Monica Garcia. So I'll tell you how the show is going to continue. That's how the show is going to continue, my friends. So you're basically telling us Monica's not fired without telling us Monica's not going to be fired. And Daddy just said it. When people show you who they are, guys, you listen. You listen. Now listen, guys. Monica saved the franchise, I think. What else can I tell you? Andy was touched. He was touched about Monica and the person. I mean, these women, when Monica is speaking, they just, I mean, the daggers and Miss Gay's eyes and Miss Marks, they are just furious with her. But at least they know to shut up when she's speaking, because you know what? At a reunion, if it doesn't involve you, just stay quiet, right? Isn't that better? Monica was saying, it was a very humble moment and it touched Andy. And Monica was explaining to us how, she's a humble girl with 4 kids and a single mom and divorced at a 3,000 square foot house. And wait, back up. Now I understand the cost of a house that's why the houses were so big on RHOD. I mean, the cost of a house in Dallas is like $2. The cost of a house in Salt Lake, I assume, is like 75 cents. You know what I'm saying? No, yes. I live in the Hamptons in New York and LA. So I'm comparing it to 3 out of fucking control places. Okay. But let's face it, the real estate in Salt Lake, it's not so expensive, but still, Monica dear, if you kind of lost us on the 3,000 square foot house, right? Like, how many people listening to this live at a 3,000 square foot house? Some. My audience does very, very well for themselves. You are very successful people. That is why you come to Behind the Velvet Rope and you put up with all of my obnoxious pomp and circumstance, even though I love you all. I'm really nice underneath it all, guys. But 3,000 square foot house, Monica, I don't know. I don't feel that sorry for you. It's a nice size house. It's like Erica Jane talking about her devastating downsize to the 2,000 square foot bungalow. And I think it's in Hancock Park, which, I mean, I'm over here in Hollywood. If you're not from LA, Hancock Park is nice, guys. Okay. And I love being in Hollywood. I am literally sitting here recording this. I am staring at the Hollywood sign from my home. The Hollywood sign is literally right there. All of you say, well, why not just turn the computer around and have that as your background? Have you ever tried to record and have the outside be your background? It doesn't work. Although I probably should try it again, right? Because it's such a nice background. Okay, maybe one day. Am I going to have to rethink? I spent money on this wallpaper behind me, so I spent a lot of money. Did Monica steal the ring? We're back to that. Maybe. She says she didn't steal the ring, but she is a reality